Aloha. Welcome to Abe Lee Seminar Sessions. Today we're going to talk about estates and interest in real property. So in Hawaii, we have two types of land. One is called fee simple, and the other is called leasehold. We're going to talk about leasehold later, but fee simple is a land that you own, absolutely controlled by you. And that's the highest form of ownership that you can have because it's your land. And you can do whatever you want with it, and you can sell it, you can give it away, you can keep it in your family for generations, like a lot of rich landowners have. So what you do with that land is very important because that's the basis of our wealth, as we mentioned. So now we have 4 government controls. One of them is called the right of eminent domain, where the government can come in and condemn the land for public use or public good. Public use would be they're going to take your land away so they can create a park, or take your land away so they can build a wider freeway or highway. And they've done that many times because as the cities have grown, they need wider highways. And the only place they can get it from is the private landowners. So the state transportation department will go to the owners and say, hey, by the way, we're widening our highway to 4 lanes instead of 2 each, and we need your land. And the owner will say, over my dead body. Well, we don't need your dead body. They're going to do it by way of a condemnation and eminent domain, and they're going to take that land. Now, there has to be fair compensation. They have to pay you what is a fair compensation per square foot of the land that they're taking, but it is still called eminent domain. The second control is what we call escheat. When someone dies without a will and has no heirs, after 15 years, the state will automatically get those assets that has no heir. So I tell people, if you have no heirs, put in your will that you give the property to your favorite charity. No offense, but I'd rather give it to charity. And I think they'd make better use of that money or land or whatever it is that you're going to give. So do not let it escheat to the state of Hawaii. But it will happen if you have no heirs and no will after 15 years. And third is called real property taxation. So if I don't pay my taxes on my real property taxes to the city and county of Honolulu or to the Maui or Kauai or Big Island where the land is situated, if I don't pay the property taxes for 3 years, the county government has a right to foreclose on my property and auction the property off for the amount of taxes owed. So that's called real property tax auctions. And some people have lost their land because they could not make the payments on the property tax. The one good thing about the property tax foreclosure is if you lose that property and say someone bid $20,000 for back taxes, you have 1 year to redeem that property. So you go beg and borrow money from your family, friends, and whoever and say, can I borrow 20 grand plus interest? And then within the year, you go back to the city and say, hey, I have the money. I want my property back. So you have the right to redeem that property within 1 year if you lose your property on a real property tax auction. And that has happened a few times. And the last one is called police power. This is a right of the government to have land control on the property that you live in. They can control what kind of properties you can have, like is it residential, is it industrial, is it commercial, apartment, resort, and they do it by means of land use control. And every county has the land use control. They'll even tell you how high you can make the building or the setbacks that you have to have. And so every county has land use controls. So those are your 4 controls that they have. One is called eminent domain. The second is escheat. The third is real property tax. And the fourth is police power to regulate land use. So you need to understand the government does have control over what they can do or what you can do with your land. Even though it's yours, you really don't have total control, and you have to follow the rules. Otherwise, you could get penalized and fined. Aloha.